Alright, ladies and gents, today we are checking out a breakdown of Ayo Dosunmu, Illinois' finest. He's on the Chicago Bulls. Shout out the Ringer. You need to be watching Ayo Dosunmu. The Void. This is my first time checking out the Ringer's channel, but they seem pretty cool. Ayo Dosunmu is the steal of the draft. Really,
in the
he really
21
is.
draft, the Chicago Bulls used the 38th pick to find a hometown player with a game built to last over a
He's
decade.
from Illinois, played college for Illinois.
Ayo Dosunmu.
Now he's playing in the NBA
Injuries
for
to Lonzo
Chicago.
Ball and Alex Caruso thrust Dosunmu from off the bench into a starting spot as a rookie for the Bulls. In 20 games as a starter entering the All-Star break, the 22-year-old is averaging 11 points on over 40% from three, plus 7 assists while playing stellar defense in 38 minutes per game.
11 and 7 as a
become a central
rookie
piece to
is
Chicago
nuts.
all season, though, running the offense with the poise of a veteran while often defending the opponent's best player. Ayo's a pickpocket. He has quick,
Give me those
hands and the feet to slam on the brakes, recover, and then strip all-stars like Trae Young. He does a good job of fighting over screens, and here against Jason Tatum, he stays seated in his stance despite all the dribble moves from Tatum, and then he puts on a hard contest on his jump shot. Whether it's bigger scorers like Tatum or speedy guys like Young, Dosunmu has the versatile on-ball ability to play lockdown defense. He also has excellent instincts when in help situations. Let's look at the time and situation here. It's near the end of the shot clock, so Ayo knows Darius Bazley doesn't have time to pass the ball, so he doubles hard and perfectly times it to rip the ball away. He constantly hustles in the passing lanes too, intercepting passes like an NFL cornerback. In transition, he's logged multiple chase down blocks this season. He's that guy who makes plays like this. Sometimes defenders with a risk-taking nature lack discipline, but not Dosunmu. With Caruso and Ball having missed time this season, Dosunmu's contributions have been vital to Chicago's defense. And now Zach LaVine is also dealing with a left knee issue, so Dosunmu's responsibilities on offense could also increase. The Bulls are using him in a primary playmaking role. He controls offensive tempo like he's been in the league for years. He goes from fast to slow, and he puts teammates in positions to make plays. Look how he keeps his defender on his back, draws a little bit of help, and then makes the pass. It's such a nice finish here by Nikola Vucevic as well. Ayo reliably facilitates in the pick and roll and limits turnovers with simple pocket passes to his rolling bigs. And he has great recognition for cutters. On this play, he
set up that dunk,
draws help, and then finds a cutting
teammate. That dunk too.
With so many shooters on the Bulls, he also makes accurate kickouts to corner three-point shooters or his pick-and-pop big Vooch. As a starter, he's logging 7 assists to under 2 turnovers per game. Dosunmu just doesn't make many mistakes. And though he plays at his own rhythm, he knows when to rev the engine in transition. The return of Lonzo and Caruso are only going to lead to more highlight plays on the break. Playing next to an all-NBA guy like DeMar DeRozan and an all-star in Zach LaVine, Dosunmu does need to play off-ball a lot. Though he carried a heavy offensive load in college, now he's displaying feel for moving and cutting away from the ball. He has a good sense for timing. Like here with Vucevic on the post, he cuts the moment Darius Garland commits the double team. Dosunmu and Vooch have great chemistry, and plus Dosunmu can shoot threes. He's hitting over 40% of his spot-up threes this season.
I didn't know that.
Critical skill
40%.
Playing alongside go-to scorers like LaVine and DeRozan. It gives them space
gonna
to
be
score
a bucket for a long time.
Dosunmu has a quick release, but when defenders can close out, he's a demon attacking off
I don't know
the
if he was college player of the year last year, but he was like in the voting for college player of the year last year.
So there he can score or drop
always
off a
been
pass
a bucket.
to a teammate. But he also has a habit of using a catch and go, grabbing the ball, then immediately speeding towards the basket. Though Dosunmu's preference is to score at the rim, he's also shown the ability to hit pull-up two-pointers. Hitting this shot has value, as we know from DeRozan.
DeMar's
shot. The next step for Ayo is to add
playing with DeMar, you gotta learn that.
Just like Desmond Bane has for the Grizzlies. So then Ayo can shoot a more efficient shot. Right now, Ayo doesn't take many threes off the bounce, and his shot just looks a little bit more uncomfortable at this stage. With that said, though, he's making over 50% of his two-point jumpers taken off the dribble.
All his threes have been
It is an efficient shot for him today. Taking threes is just the next step. It'll open up more of the floor, and it would make him an even more dynamic shot creator. Even as is, Dosunmu displays go-to scoring flashes.
Bro, this is a perfect setup for Dosunmu. I feel like. Even though there's so many point guards
he has the awareness
on the
to catch his
Bulls,
defender off balance.
I feel like it just
to get to the basket, and the athleticism to yam it all over the defense. Absences have opened the door for Dosunmu to receive opportunities he otherwise wouldn't have seen early in his career. In the years to come, extending his range off the bounce to behind the arc could propel him from a high-level role player, like he already is, to a star. In the meantime, the Bulls have obviously landed one of the steals of the NBA draft. And if you don't believe me, here's
Dunked on
Dwayne
him.
Wade.
He knows how to play the game of basketball. He can come in right
D
away. He
Wade?
can take charges. He can defend the other team's best player. Some nights, you see him scoring in the 20s. Like this kid right here is one of those guys that, like a Kawhi Leonard. Like you got somebody that's like a diamond in the rough. If you continue to add to his game, he can be a featured guy like Jimmy Butler once became.
I agree with Wade, and his statement there just makes me think about how tough it is to draft when guys like Jimmy Butler fall to the 30th pick, when Ayo Dosunmu falls to the 38th pick. You get Herb Jones this year on the Pelicans at 36. Drafting is tough, man, because for every Nikola
I'd be so good at
Jokic, a
drafting.
star
I'm
like
a
him, or
scout.
for every
I'm a
role
fucking
player
scout.
like
I
Montrezl
know
Harrell, you
these
get
things.
5 of Walter Tavares.
I used to
10 of Rakeem
literally
Christmas.
want to be
Just there's more
a
guys
college
who never
recruiter.
work
That was
out,
one of the
even though
things
they
I
have some
wanted to do.
skill
But then I
or
was
some
like,
size.
fuck
And
that.
there are
I'd
the
have to go to
players that
college to be a
actually
college
end up
recruiter.
becoming contributing
Nah.
players for 5 or 10 or 15 years. And Dosunmu absolutely looks like the type of guy who, at worst, is going to be the guy that he is today, hitting threes off the catch, attacking closeouts, making smart passes, playing great defense. I mean, this guy's going to be in the league for 10 plus years if he doesn't get better from what he is today.
10 plus, bro. He got a whole career ahead of him, bro.
Dosunmu's gotten better as the year has progressed. He
Hope he
starts the season
stays
coming off the
healthy,
bench, playing 10, 15 minutes per
keep
game,
the
and now he's
mind
a
right,
starter playing 38 minutes per game.
stays in
Defenses
this
are
right
game
situation
planning for
like
him
I think
more.
the Bulls
His
are.
responsibility is so much more significant than it was earlier in the season, and yet he's still producing at a really high level.
I wouldn't even be mad if like the Bulls got rid of like Kobe White
That
for
shows
another
the progress he's
like
made
wing
in
or
year
something.
one.
Then just
Never mind what he's going to be
Lonzo
in
and
year 4
Ayo
and year 5
run the guard
when he's 27,
positions.
28
Then
years
Caruso's
old. So I
that,
think the Wade comparison there is
you
fair.
know,
And when you
defender,
think about him right now,
Javonte
everything
Green,
he's
and whoever
doing
the other
is
wing
good enough to
is,
make him an
and then
absolute
DeMar and Zach
lock
just do
for one of the all-rookie
everything,
teams.
and then Vooch is
Not
the
the
center.
first
Like,
team, though. You got guys like Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Josh Giddey, and Franz Wagner, who are locks for that. They just get too many minutes and put up too big of numbers to get pushed off that team. But second team, Chris Duarte, Herb Jones, and Ayo Dosunmu, those 3 guys are locks for the.
I mean, okay, let's look at the first team. The first team, I mean, is Josh Giddey's a guard, isn't he? I mean, Ayo's definitely second team, no doubt. But I feel like he could have a better career than some of these dudes I'm seeing right now. Because he's on the second best team,
Herb Jones, and Ayo Dosunmu, those
second or
3
third
guys
best team in the
are
league right
locks
now,
for the
record
5
wise.
spots on that second
So
team.
he doesn't even get
The
that
other
many
2,
minutes
I mean, we'll see how
compared to
that gets
everyone else.
determined over the
But
course of the season. There's a
he's
lot
balling,
of rookies
11 and
that
7.
can make it, but Dosunmu is not going to fall off. He's too good
It's crazy.
and plays too important of a role on the Chicago Bulls, and that's just what makes this story so cool. He's a hometown kid from
Facts.
Chicago,
Facts.
goes to Illinois, falls to the second round, gets drafted by the Bulls, and now he's a contributing player.
How did he fall to the second round? I don't know that. Someone's got to explain that to me. That's
championship
insane.
hopes. I just can't get enough of
He was
watching a
nuts
guy
in
like
college.
him get better over the course of the season, then play with the style that he does too. It's just lovable. Every fan base has players that they've fallen in love with over the years because of the hustle and the heart and the energy that they bring to the court.
This dude
And
from
Ayo
Chicago or
already
something?
has all of those qualities.
He must
It's just
really
now it's
like the
what's
Bulls or
next from
something.
him? If he gets better as a shooter, if he gets better as a scorer, this is a guy that could be one of the stars of the game. But today, the role he plays is critical for the Bulls. He's helping them out with injured key players, and then when those guys are hopefully back, he's going to slide into a role where he can complement them. And then on some nights when he's feeling it, Billy Donovan and that Bulls coaching staff is going to say,
I'm not even full
it's time
screen.
for
My
you to
bad,
score,"
guys.
because he's proven that he can do it. And I can't wait to see how
My
this
bad.
season develops for him and how his entire career is going to develop. And I want to know, what do you think? What is Dosunmu's upside? Can he become a star like me and Dwayne Wade think? Or is he going to be a guy who's just like a high-level role player? And there's nothing wrong with that, because you could definitely do worse with the 38th pick in the second round of the NBA draft. So let me know in the comments below.
I think at the very least, he's a top-tier role player. I think he's already just on that trajectory to be a top-tier role player. I don't really see him being like a number 1 option, though, like an absolute star like that. I don't know why. In college, he was that guy, but like that's college. Everyone's that guy, I guess, in college. I don't know. I could definitely see him being. I don't see him being a first option, like star wise, but maybe second or third. I can see that. I don't know though. It really depends how hard he works, you know. it's I don't know these things, but thank you for watching. Ayo Dosunmu is up next.